Namaste, welcome again for Thursday evening yin yoga practice. As always, I recommend if you have handy any kind of props that you want to use, blocks. On my personal favorite, a bolster or a pillow works good, or you could use folded up blankets also as a way to create a little bit of support and extra comfort for your body. So feel free to grab anything like that that you might have around that you want to make use of. Otherwise, if you're good to go, then we will begin laying down on the ground in any version or variation of a Shavasana or posture that works for your body. You can prop your head. I've opted to prop my feet. Let your body settle into a position that will allow you to relax. As your body begins settling into that posture, right away start to draw your focus and your attention into your body, giving yourself a moment to acknowledge the physical sensations that are present. Becoming aware of any sensations of ease or tension. Noticing sensations of warmth or coolness. As well as becoming aware of the sensations created by the coming and going of your breath. Altering that breath or attempting to manage that breath. Simply notice what the breath in its natural state does in your body or does to your body. No observation is too small or is irrelevant. Noticing anything at all that you notice. The practice of yin yoga entails a great deal of stillness and in many ways is much more subtle than a typical yoga practice. But in its own way, yin yoga can sneakily be quite the opposite of subtle. Any number of the postures we'll explore may, for you, create very strong sensation. Experience a great deal of mental tension or discomfort in the practice. Just want to remind you to be gentle with yourself as best you can, physically, mentally, embracing both the easefulness and simplicity of the yin practice as well as leaning into the challenging aspects of the yin yoga practice. Prepare to move into the first posture. Place the soles of your feet on the ground. Walk the legs towards one another, feet touching to one another as you begin to release your knees out wide. As another reminder, if you have props, this is a posture that can often be very useful to have props for. You might settle a block underneath your thigh or knees. You could opt, if you have, again, a bolster, maybe propping the shins or the soles of the feet up there on that block, or on that bolster rather. Option to bring your feet farther away from your hips to make the posture a little less intense. If you have open hips or like the feeling of this stretch, you might opt to scoot those heels in very close to your hips. Ultimately making sure as best you can that you put your body in a position where you can afford to let go of the muscles, to put your body in a position where you are not doing any effort to hold your legs up. You're allowing your legs to be heavy and to release into the force of gravity. So whatever you need to do to make that happen, that's the way to go. And if you don't have props and this position is very uncomfortable for you, I'll invite you to just go ahead and leave your right leg as it is. Just place the sole of your left foot on the ground and allow that left knee to point up to the sky. You can do this kind of one hip at a time. As you find a posture that's suitable for you, take note of where your body's connected to the earth. Give your body up to those points of connection. Let your body melt into the support that you have, releasing any resistance. Let the ground, let the props hold your body. Breath to move freely into and out of your body. Minimal sense of forcing or manipulating the breath. Just invite the breath to be deep and smooth, and observe how the breath actually plays out. Feel how your breath expands as you inhale. Watch what happens in your body as you exhale. Discovering tension or discomfort showing up in the body, be willing to take the next several breaths to consider what kind of adjustments might need to be made. Walking perhaps the heels in a little closer or a little farther out, maybe adding or eliminating a prop. If you've opted to take this one leg at a time, now's a great moment to switch things out. You can release that left knee down toward the ground. And as that leg releases toward the earth, you might slowly settle the sole of the right foot on the ground, letting your right knee point up toward the sky. Whether or not any adjustments have been made, still a good idea to just check in, begin to notice where you're connected to the earth to see to it that your body is allowed to use that connection. Letting the ground give you support. Checking in on the quality of your breath, inviting your breath to be deep and smooth, to be easy and free, but also willing to notice if the breath is not any of those things, without feeling the need to force the breath to work in any particular way, just an openness to observe how the breath truly is. Detecting intense sensation through the hips, or perhaps through the low back, the inner thighs. Acknowledge the presence of that tension. Take a moment to observe elsewhere in your body. Is that same tension showing up anywhere else? In the face or the jaw? Maybe in the forehead? Around the eyes, soften the face, relax the jaw. Invite that tension to likewise release from the hips. Doesn't mean it will release, but at least extend the invitation. Opted to take this posture one leg at a time, I invite and encourage you to just briefly bring both knees out wide for just a little bit. You'll find another 3 or so complete rounds of breath, maintaining a sense of softness and ease as best you can. You are encouraged to hold a posture for longer. If something interesting is happening, if you're discovering or becoming aware of something you maybe never noticed before, always a good idea to sit with that, to marinate in it for a little bit longer. If you are ready to leave the posture, please do so very slowly and mindfully. Allow yourself to truly feel every centimeter of motion. Notice what moves, what does not move. Notice what in your body might feel great relief and what might suddenly feel perhaps a sense of intensity or even discomfort. When you've returned to a more neutral position, give your body a few moments to be still, or if you prefer, to find very gentle movement. Gradually, over the next several breaths that come your way, to bring the knees in toward your chest. Giving them just a very subtle squeeze. If possible, keep your head and your lower back on the earth, the back of your neck on the earth. The knees don't have to pull in very tightly. Maybe think more about your thighs coming in toward your belly instead of the knees to the chest. If it feels good intuitively right away, you might rock a little bit side to side. Try to, again, reinforce this connection to the earth that you have. Our connection to the ground is so important. Here, if you've been rocking about, gradually bring yourself to stillness. If your feet or ankles are crossed up, go ahead and uncross them, letting the right leg be on the right side, letting the left leg be on the left side. Both of your hands will meet over at your right leg. You can hook at the shin or just in front of the kneecap if that's kind of a bit of a reach. You might grab behind the thigh instead. Just keep that right leg drawn in. And when you're ready, you'll slowly begin to extend your left leg out away from your body. And just very briefly, let's get yang about this. Let's activate that left leg. Press the sole of the foot and the heel as far as you can. Flex the foot, spreading the toes and drawing them back toward your knee or shin. Take another big, big, deep breath in right here. And then as you're ready to exhale, very slowly, lower your left leg down to the ground and allow all of that activity to just melt away. Let that left leg be long and very heavy. Feel the heel settle against the earth. The back of your calf. Thigh settles down onto the ground. Once you feel that left leg really settled into the ground, bring your attention back toward your right leg. Make any little adjustments there that you might need to. You can bring the knee out a little bit wider. You might squeeze it in a little closer, but avoid undue tension. The weight of your shoulders, your upper arms getting into gravity. Create the leverage on your right leg to draw it inward as much as it's going to go. Most of the action we're after here will really still be over there in your left leg. When the right leg is settled, bring your focus towards your lower belly, your attention onto your breath. Visualize or feel as if that breath is beginning deep in your lower belly. The inhale pushing the belly open, creating length and space through your left inner thigh. As you exhale, your left leg gets even heavier still. Let go of it even more. Inhaling to feel the lower belly expand, pushing the lower back open against the earth. On the exhale again, a sense of heaviness in the left leg, a sense of heaviness in your shoulders. To the halfway point of this little posture, so it's a good opportunity to make an adjustment in your body if you need, to scan through and detect if any tension is showing up. Tension around the eyes or forehead or within the jaw. If there's undue tension in the arms through the lower belly, allow it to soften as much as it is willing to. Keeping that left leg nice and relaxed, heavy against the earth. Looking to maintain a sense of ease throughout the body as best you can. If it feels like the right thing to do for just the remainder of the time in this posture, as we start to wind it down, you might find it feels nice to extend your right leg, sending the sole of your right foot gently up toward the ceiling. Maybe subtle flexion on your right foot, but again, avoid any undue action. Just letting that right leg be open if it feels good. It may prefer to maintain a bend. Shoulder blades want to be on the ground. The back of your neck and head want to be on the ground. Let them if they can be. Finding wherever your body is, just another 3 or so cycles of breath. Look to bridge this posture into another. So you'll leave your left leg as is. If you extended your right leg, you have the option to bend it once again, or some may find it nice to keep that leg extended as we prepare to move towards a spinal twisting posture. So either way, good idea to allow your arms to release out to your side, creating some space, maybe arms at a T, could be goal posted, or again, one of the luxuries of yin yoga, we can be a little more lax about alignment. You might bring the hands behind your head, or even just settle your hands at your chest. In any case, just briefly begin to reactivate that left leg, flexion on the foot, creating a strong sense of a straight line moving through your left leg and right up through your spine. Take one more breath in to really commit to that straight line of energy. And then as you exhale, you can slowly begin to send your right leg across your body. The left hand can grab a hold of the knee if you wish. If the leg is straight, then it's an easy catch. You could grab your foot, big toes, or the outstep of the foot. And of course, as you move into that twisting action, if you discover that that left leg wants to adapt itself, it might start to bend, or it might want to straighten out a little bit more. Take your liberties. We're not ultimately that concerned with what the legs are doing here, more interested in the action through the lower back, the lumbar vertebra, and the way the lumbar vertebra interact with or relate to the mid and upper back vertebra. Letting your spine have a gentle twist. Settles into the twisting action. Send your awareness throughout your body, seeking out the points of contact and connection you have with your mat or with the ground. Wherever you find that contact with the earth, recognize that that contact is also support. Let your body be supported. Let your body be a little heavy in those places. Allow your breath to freely move in and out of your body, taking notes perhaps of where the inhalations are opening and expanding in your body, as well as any places where the breath is not opening and expanding. Those points of contact with the earth, also points of subtle resistance to or restriction of the breath. here's a good moment, should you find the want or the need to adjust your posture to do so. Could be adjusting in pursuit of a little more sensation. Maybe things have softened and released enough that you can take it up another notch. If you have discovered your body only encountering struggle and resistance, that may be your cue to soften your approach. Maybe a little more bend in the knees. Maybe a little support from a prop underneath that right thigh or right knee. Sensations of spaciousness, openness into the body as you inhale. Allow for those places of heaviness, of closing down, of subtle restriction to exist as you exhale. Your body the opportunity to cycle through 3 more complete breaths. Zero rush, no forcing or straining to get it done. Breathing the breath that is happening right now to completion. Once you're ready, like before, knowing full well you have permission to remain in this posture. But once your body is ready to exit, do so very mindfully. Take your time. Time is the magic ingredient, not just of yin yoga. Time is the magic ingredient really in all yoga, but in yin yoga, time is very much an emphasis of the practice. Taking the time to allow the body to do exactly what it needs to. Having left your posture, if you did so, give your body a few moments in a more neutral position, maybe back to Shavasana, maybe using that subtle knee to chest position as your neutral posture. Stillness, a good idea. Feel what's happening inside the body. Movement is acceptable. Let the movement be intuitive and natural. When you're ready to move along, you might opt to bring both knees in toward your chest, or again, thighs to the belly. A starting point. If that feels like undue work knowing where you're headed, you can leave that right leg long and just focus on bringing your left leg inward. Maybe the hands grip in front of the shin or at the knee. Perfectly fine to clasp the hands behind the thigh. In any case, again, try to relax the shoulder blades and the upper arms into gravity. Let gravity be what's drawing your leg inward towards your body. As we initiate this posture, for a moment again you might really actively extend that right leg. Might even pick it up off the ground, driving the heel away, spreading the toes and drawing them back toward your face. Full extension, full power for a moment in that right leg, and then slowly allowing the right leg to release down to the ground. It'll stay long, but now that activity melts away. That right leg, heavy like a big log laying on the ground. Arrives in the posture. Take note of your contact, aka your support. Let the body be heavy where it has support. No need to hold anything up. The support is there to do the holding for you. Subtle feeling of holding at the hands is present. Make sure that effort that the hands might have to keep themselves gently linked is not leaking through to the upper arms and the shoulders. Relax your upper body. Soften the jaw, the face, and forehead. Feels like the body intuitively wants to work a little deeper in this posture. Allow for any adjustments that suit you to play out. All with an eye, yet again, towards being able to relax more, to apply less effort in your body. No amount of effort will make the practice of yin yoga more successful. Your ability to relax and take some time is more indicative of success here. Relax. If you're finding a clear sense that your left leg would like to take the last chunk of time in this posture in an extended fashion, you can again slowly send the sole of your left foot toward the ceiling, mindful that whatever activation does come through that leg is not going to leak into your right leg. Right leg's still long and heavy. Breath expanding from your lower belly outward. Let the expansion of your belly be what pushes the sole of your left foot upward. Let that expansion in your lower belly open up the space of your right thigh and your right low back. Like a big balloon inflating and holding everything open for you. To move onward toward a twist, being mindful to set up a twist that truly will serve your body. It may look different than what you did on the other side, and that's absolutely appropriate. We're not worried about creating a mirror image or trying to balance what we did on the other side of the body. Unless you came in balanced to begin with, then there's a minimal risk of walking away with any more imbalance than we might have come in with. Let this side of the body do exactly what it needs to. Maybe bending your left leg, maybe keeping it extended, maybe using your right hand to assist in the motion, maybe getting your hands out of the way. Only you know what is going to work best. Set yourself up in whatever fashion feels right to you. And once you've arrived, again, you can take this body scan, noticing what's touching the earth now that perhaps was not before. Noticing what is no longer connected to the earth that perhaps was before. Where does your body maybe now have a sense of spaciousness and openness? Relax your face and jaw. Invite your breath to create a sensation of length and space in your spine. Allow your breath to encourage your body to release into the twisting action. Not to create more twists, or to try to spice up the twist you have, more allowing the twist you have to do what it's already doing, less resistance rather than more effort. If your posture clearly needs to be adjusted, if you've exhausted the potential of the posture you have, look to deepen, modify to create a new edge. If you overdid it in your setup, great opportunity to back it off, to add or subtract props. Has wandered away, draw your attention into your body. Feel the ground underneath you. Feel the breath moving through you. always, there's time available to linger in this posture if you wish to have it. Take that time if you wish. If your body's ready to exit, very mindful, a slow and easy approach. Accounting for every centimeter of motion, every millisecond of sensation. As you come out of the posture, seeking a neutral posture might again be Shavasana or a gentle full body stretch, maybe gently drawing the knees toward the chest or bending the knees and placing the feet on the earth. Some time for motion if it feels appropriate, or to be still. And then once again, starting to bend your knees and walk your feet inward toward your seat. The earth. As you arrive, you can just gently roll over onto your right side. Might pause there briefly if you wish, or if you're ready, whenever you are ready. You can use your hands to assist in gently pressing yourself up toward a seated posture. Bringing yourself, once you're ready, to a wide-legged seat. Depending on your space, you may orient in a particular way. Encourage you to take a little extra time to really see to it that you make it onto your sitting bones. Very often in seated postures, we're kind of rolled back onto our tailbone. There's a lot of roundness in the lower back. The sitting bones are a little bit farther forward from there. So you might use your hands alongside your hips and press your hands down, sending your chest forward and feeling like your sitting bones are rolling back underneath you. Your thighs will kind of rotate in, and it may even feel like your tailbone is peeking up off of the floor. Set the weight straight down or a little bit forward almost again, so it kind of feels like you're already folding your body. And then you can sort of reset your foundation. Might have more of a tripod feeling than leaning back onto the tailbone. Think more like 3 points of contact. Great posture to have a bolster or to have blocks handy. As always, if you don't, you can use your arms as bolsters to bring some support up from the ground toward your body. Take a breath in wherever you are at. Really let your belly expand. And then as you're ready to exhale and fold yourself forward, think about dropping your belly right down onto or just barely in front of those sitting bones. You can catch yourself right away. Maybe forearms or elbows will plop on your thighs. You could use your hands out at your ankles or shins and kind of gently press against the legs to catch some support. Otherwise, again, great place to have the bolster or not. You might set those forearms and elbows in underneath at your belly or solar plexus. So as you start to lower downward, your arms will catch the support of the ground or blocks or bolsters. And then your torso can catch the support of your arms. Maybe you settle your forehead right at your thumbs or on the backs of your wrists. Make little adjustments to get yourself acclimated and settled in. And as you start to find a posture that feels reasonable, we work through this process again of checking in and noticing where the body has physical support, seeing to it that you let yourself use that support. Your sitting bones are free to be heavy on the ground. Let them be. some amount of the back of your thighs and calves. Maybe your heels are able to be on the ground. Let them be on the ground if they're there. No lifting, no resisting. Soften into that support. Let it do work for you. Yin is the receptive phase. Let the ground hold you. Let your body be held. If there's tension clearly in the back of the thighs and the hamstrings, a sensation of tightness or intensity through the hips or the lower back, allow yourself to acknowledge that sensation. But before you react to that, notice if you're also harboring tension somewhere that it's really unnecessary. Is your face tensing? Is your forehead or your brow furrowing, scrunching up? This posture inevitably creates sensation in the backs of the legs, and oftentimes in the back of the body. Might not be much we can do about clearing that in the moment, but at the very least, you can relax any smushing of your eyes. You can afford to soften your jaw. Release unnecessary tension, first and foremost. Give your body a chance to then feel what that relaxation is like, and then you can apply that maybe to the backs of the thighs. Maybe you can apply that release and softening action through the calves, or through your lower back. If, despite your efforts at creating a little more space to soften and relax into your posture, is proving unfruitful, then perhaps a physical adjustment is in order, maybe a little less width for your feet and legs. Maybe you're realizing that your tailbone is pulling you back toward the earth, creating rounding in your lower back that doesn't really need to be there. Maybe scooting yourself forward, maybe drawing in more propping, maybe taking some propping out of the picture. What can you do in your body to make the remainder of your time in this wide-legged, forward-folding, seated posture a little more reasonable? What can you do to encourage your body to be comfortable here, even if the posture itself remains intense, even though there may continue to be very strong sensation? Can you find a way to support your body such that your mind can afford to relax? Relaxing the mind, perhaps by focusing on the feeling of your breath. Inviting the breath to be smooth and easy. Maybe that same smooth and easy sensation can work its way throughout your body. grant your body the opportunity to cycle through 3 more complete breaths. Easefully, but completely, clearly finishing the inhalations and exhalations. Not forcing, just the complete allowing of the breath to happen. The breath cycles have completed. You're invited to stay for longer. If the body's ready to exit the posture again, really do so and take your time. Not in a rush, not in a hurry. Feel and be present for every single millisecond of transition, aware of every centimeter of action that occurs. And again, giving your body some time once you're out of that posture to notice what's happening and what you are feeling. Perhaps there will be a little bit of movement involved, maybe just being very still and feeling internal activity in your body. The rush of blood, the circulation of energy. From there, you may opt to gently lower yourself back down toward the earth, coming toward a brief finishing Shavasana, or perhaps simply bringing your body to an easy seated posture, maybe folding up the legs, crisscross applesauce as they say. A block or bolster makes a great support to help elevate your hips, to create a little more ease in that position. Whether it's laying on your back or seating yourself comfortably, allow your eyes to close, allow your face to be soft and free. And one last time, bringing your focus towards your breath. Natural and easy, steady coming and going of inhale and exhale. Invite the whole body to participate in your inhalation. Invite your whole body to participate in your exhalation. The belly, the spine, all the joints gently opening as you inhale. Relaxing, receiving support. Energy as you exhale. opted to be in Shavasana or to be lying on the earth, please do give yourself the opportunity to remain there for as long as you wish. No need to leave that laying down posture if it's comfortable. Maybe you're situated in bed and able to simply stay there, great. But if you're seated or wish to move towards seated, that's perfectly acceptable, of course. We'll make with some formalities to close the practice, but again, if you're laying down, don't get wrapped up in a bunch of formalities for no reason. I can't even see if you're doing it or not, so I'm not going to be offended if you choose to remain laying down and relaxed. If you have, again, yourself seated and wish, or if you're arriving in the seated posture and wish to do so, we'll find some cleansing breaths just to gently wind things down, gathering perhaps with your arms a big deep breath from out beyond, drawing it inward toward the center of your chest, your palms together and thumbs at your heart. Exhaling to gently clear away any lingering tension or stagnation from your body. Another big deep breath in, fill yourself up with fresh energy, with new oxygen, and again as you exhale, clearing away tension, or unnecessary energy that you might be holding on to, clearing out some space. Find another big deep breath, drawing in anything at all you may be needing this evening, and exhaling to gently clear away anything at all that no longer serves you. Allow yourself to let it go. Find one final breath to conclude. Go about the rest of your evening and head into the closing days of the week. I encourage you to carry this practice of awareness, of easefulness with you, bringing along as well peaceful thoughts for your mind, peaceful words for your lips, and as always, perhaps most importantly, peace for your heart in recognition and in appreciation of the spark within each and every single one of us. We can bow forward together to say Namaste. Namaste. May your evening be marvelous. Thank you again.